you got free will. I say Emmett Till. How much time till we got till? It's a quarter to till. It all falls down the Lauren Hill. Informant on the fugitives from the Fugees. Sample from a Roberta Flack type of movie. Bills are really blessings. So true, Miss Blue. Had to go within. Lucky blueprint moves. Not my mother, not my father, not my sister, not my brother, but me. Oh Lord, gotta save myself with the words I created with swords. Had to bring love to fill all my voids. Still got a few potholes I'm paving with my vocal cords. God bless the child that has his own. For God and say everything I planted has truly grown. Taking me back to the places that I've always known. Time traveling with my brother on the phone. I'm in my zone. I'm in my zone. But let me get my life together. Let me get my stuff together.
As a result of the outbreak, city or the entire region may be endangered by a lethal agent. If conditions at your location make this a possibility, you need to consider staying in place. If the threat has subsided or blown over, the following steps will ensure that your home will serve as a biological or chemical safe haven.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Hello, beautiful and brilliant souls. Welcome to day 6 of the 13 days of self-witnessing. Over the last several days, we have remembered our roots, listened to the wisdom of the heart, reclaimed the power of our voice, and lovingly explored the places where silence has been living. Today, we arrive at a sacred question. What happens when we finally stop carrying what no longer belongs to us? Many of us move through life carrying an invisible weight. Weight that cannot be seen by others. Weight that has become so familiar that we barely notice it anymore. This is old fears, old stories, old identities, old expectations, old wounds, old responsibilities. Sometimes we carry them for so long that we begin to feel like it's a part of who we are. But self-witnessing invites us to pause and ask, is this truly mine? Because not everything we carry belongs to us. Some burdens are inherited, passed down through generations that were only doing the best they could with what they knew. Some burdens are learned, acquired through experiences, relationships, environments, and beliefs that shape how we saw ourselves in the world. And some burdens are simply complete. Their purpose have been fulfilled, their lessons have been learned, their seasons has come to an end. Yet, we continue carrying them because they have become familiar. There's a part of us that often believes that letting go means losing something important. We fear that if we release the pain, we must forget the lesson. We fear that if we release the struggle, we must lose our strength. We fear that if we release the old identity, we might not know who we are without it. But healing is not forgetting. Healing is integrating. Healing is recognizing that the lesson can remain even after the suffering has been released. The wisdom can stay even after the wound has closed. The growth can remain even after the burden has been set down. Sometimes release looks dramatic. Sometimes it looks like walking away from something that no longer aligns. Sometimes it looks like ending a chapter. Sometimes it looks like forgiveness. But often, release is much quieter. It looks like no longer arguing with yourself, no longer carrying guilt that was never yours, no longer replaying the same story, no longer redefining yourself by what happened years ago, no longer proving your worth, no longer shrinking, no longer holding on to an identity that your soul has already outgrown. The truth is, every season of life asks something different of us. Some seasons ask us to gather, some seasons ask us to build, some seasons ask us to endure, and some seasons ask us to release. Not because we have failed, not because we're giving up, but because growth requires space. A tree cannot produce new leaves while clinging on to every leaf from the season before. A river cannot continue floating if it refuses to move beyond what has already passed. And we, too, are called to trust the wisdom of release. Self-witnessing allows us to see clearly of what we've been carrying. Sacred release allows us to choose differently. It allows us to recognize that we can honor our journey without remaining attached to every part of it. It allows us to thank a chapter for what it has taught us while still turning the page. Today, I invite you to imagine setting down just one burden. Just one fear, one story, one expectation, one identity, one piece of emotional weight that you have carried long enough. Notice how it feels. Notice what becomes possible when your hands are no longer full. Because sometimes the next chapter of our lives is not waiting for us to become more. Sometimes it's waiting for us to release what is no longer necessary. Today's reflection question is, what am I finally ready to lay down? Sit with that question, journal with it, meditate on it, speak it out loud if you are called, and allow yourself to answer honestly. You may discover that freedom that you've been searching for is not found in holding on, is found in trusting yourself enough to let go. Thank you for joining me for day 6 of our 13 days of self-witnessing. Tomorrow we will explore that presence is the portal and the transformative power of fully inhabiting the present moment. Until then, release gently, release consciously, and remember that every burden you set down creates space for something new to emerge. This is Brittany Vibez, and I'm witnessing with you. Until next time, remember, your authenticity is sacred, your presence is powerful, and your light was never meant to be hidden. Ashe.